Welcome to another exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And I'm Papergoy. I sell out of my house. I've got 40,000 items up. Well, I've got a couple of fewer because I actually sold a couple of things.
Nice.
One-man band, day job, all that sort of thing. And I try to bring you every Saturday bolos that you can find out there, tell you what it is that I bought, why I bought, and hopefully you're able to use that knowledge to make some money.
That was a long one.
It was.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
Thank you.
With 15 employees, 500,000 items, and a large warehouse.
Yes, you do. And you also tend to show us some things that a lot of us would dream of having.
Sometimes.
Some higher priced items and things like that, hey, if you see them out there, that's great. And
Right.
What's the first item you have?
All right. It's baseball season. It's not grading season, but it is baseball season.
Is it rabbit season or duck season? Anyway.
I like rabbit season. But 2019 Fernando Tatis Jr. throwback rookie card. It is a PSA 10, and I took a $180 offer on this.
PSA 10.
But very cool card. It's normally like $50, but this is a 10.
Now, did that come as a 10 in a pack, or somebody went and got it graded?
Someone got it graded. I bought it from a customer, and I held on it for a while. Now he's pretty hot, one of the top couple players in the league. So he's trending. His card's trending, and you can't get anything graded right now for another month. So
now's the time to sell those 10s.
exactly, for sure.
Nice.
Yep. All right, next up, I bought a bunch of these in a collection from a gentleman who frequented Puerto Rico, a big Clemente fan. He brought them back from there, wire photos. I thought they'd go for a little more money, but this one went for around $40.
Can I ask a question about your listing?
Why they didn't put Pittsburgh Pirates in there, I don't know why.
You read my mind now.
What were you going to say?
Why didn't they put Pittsburgh Pirates in there?
Yeah.
See, and that's one that actually you'll just have to mention to the lister and say, do list the team name.
Which is weird because I think his mind gets, the switch gets on and off because I've seen him do it with sports cards, and he may say something like, "Oh, I couldn't get any more words in," or something. What did I want to take out? Like something like that.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was thinking, and I was taking a look up over there, and I said, hey, you probably could get the words in there. You didn't need MLB, like, for example.
That's true. You're right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, next up, I've had two of these, and apparently they're rare. People wanted to buy these outright as soon as I put them up. Marshawn Lynch, bobblehead for whatever reason.
Now, what size bobbles are these?
They're 9-inch, the regular size.
Regular size, okay.
Yeah,
because that picture makes me think of like those old, I don't know if they were bobbleheads or what they were, that were like 12 or 14-inch boxes.
Yeah, so I think there's a banker box in the background there, so you can probably see it.
That's a pretty good size box.
Yeah, it makes sense. But $44. The last one went for $40. So this particular, if you're in Bill's country and you see these, at a flea market, grab them for $5-10. You're gonna make some money.
Now, did you talk about that in a different video of ours? Is that the Marshawn Lynch you did?
This is the second one I bought. The first one got damaged.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell everybody real quick what had happened.
Yeah, so
use the mouse there to show what had happened.
I sold one of these for $40 a couple weeks ago, and identical. This one I picked up in a different collection, but where the white socks and his cleats meet was broken in transit. There's nothing I could do about it since it's packed, and you can see how it's sealed around his body, so it can't shift at all. But for whatever reason, it must have been dropped or something landed on it that caused it to shift so badly that the legs broke off it.
That's crazy.
It is very crazy.
And the real crazy thing about that is that's factory packaging.
Right.
And where they package it from years of experience, they mold it around there. Nothing is going to happen to this, and yet it's still something can happen to it.
Yeah. So the feet were glued in, or there's pegs maybe in there, and then somehow the whole body shifted off from it.
And that kind of reminds me of those stories that happen every once in a while to you, where somebody will buy something that's new old stock from 30 years ago, and they open it, and it's damaged.
No, I know.
Unopened, and then they want you to fix it, and you're saying, I sold you a sealed item. I'm not the one that did this. It's the manufacturer that screwed up.
What was the one that was like 30-year-old toy with the little hole where you press it and the battery's dead? Like, what do you think's going to happen 30 years later? Find me one that isn't like that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Crazy. All right, here we go. I picked up a large collection of these, and these are hot as a pistol.
City of Philadelphia E44 fire truck. Oh, code 3 is the
collectibles. Yeah. So, but
164
I think
still.
The cheapest ones I have are $35. Some are into the hundreds. So there's some rare, club pieces, mail away pieces, exclusive. So, if you see these, even if they're loose out of the package, they're not very big. This is the scale, but
see, and that's good to know code 3 because I don't buy diecast for a lot of different reasons. I don't.
Yeah.
But my head is still stuck in the action-packed racing and all those things from the 90s that they made many of, and limited edition to 10,000, and it turns out not to be any good.
Sure.
So Code 3 is a brand. Now, did Code 3 just make fire-related?
Fire trucks, yep. Any type of fire emergency vehicle. Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
very good.
Cool. Yep.
Something to look out
And
for.
obviously, you mentioned the city because there's all different cities and styles and so forth. Some people just collect New York City.
Okay.
So they're all across the country.
Nice.
And I like to prove people wrong, so this is my last one here. A wise man once told me these do not sell. He got lucky and sold one. Well, I'm Mr. Magazine. I sold one as well. So if you're paying attention, Punch Magazine. And we didn't say much other than 10 pins. I probably would have said bowling. It's a different lister, but however, it did sell for whatever reason. Very cool, guys. The big nose jumping in the air.
So basically, what we're noticing on this channel is Punch Magazine is trending upward.
It is. We're gonna make a trend. We're gonna make a trend upward for sure. Yep. Buy those suckers up. Don't pass on them.
After I passed on them all, of course.
Yeah.
Just the way things work out.
Maybe someone made them popular again.
That's funny. All right. You were with me when I bought the first item I have over here.
Okay.
Standard dry old stock ale, ox, cart, beer, NOS. They're tray liners.
You bought more than 10 though, right?
I bought a
1,010. 1,010 of them, sure.
I bought many. And what did I think I paid $40 for all of them, something like that. There were so many of them there that I just said I absolutely cannot lose. This took a little while to sell over here, and I will, 3 generations from now of Papergoy will still be selling these. But it's kind of cool to sell something or other when you do buy something in a bulk lot. They're not hot, but you're into them absolutely right, which ties into the next item. I was at a auction, and we have to be going back to, I must have bought these back one of the first auctions I went to, 2002. And they don't sell often, but they do sell. I sell about 3 a year.
Oh, nice.
It's literally a napkin from Batavia Downs, undated, probably 1960s, I would guess. Literally, the guy had a box of them that they must have just come from the concession stand back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think I paid $4, $5 for the entire box. I do get $6 per napkin out of them, selling about 3 a year. So if you figure I've sold $20 worth a year for every year from 2001 to now.
Wow.
So I've gotten $400 out of these that I paid $5 for, and the box isn't touched. I mean, it's still basically a full box of stuff because I've only sold so few of them out of there. And the real beauty, if there's a paper shortage, I can wipe my face. So it's a beautiful thing. But I guess what I'm telling you is if you're into it for the long term, don't be afraid to buy something rather like this when the price is so cheap. You just stick it off in the corner, you list it, every once in a while you pull one out, and you're happy with the sales over time. The next thing over here, a couple of different little things with this over here. Carl Schmidt medicine label. I mean, this thing is tiny, and it's hard to get a picture up on something or other like this for eBay as well because it's such a small thing. I ended up taking a $6 offer on it, but as you can see, it's been up since 2008. And here's the beauty of it. The person that bought this was from overseas, and they must have bought, it was a $500 order, believe it or not.
Wow.
All with different medical things. They were buying a lot of the quack medicine booklets, et cetera, and they were paying fair on them all. And so I'm quite happy to ship that out and quite happy to ship this along with it. So sometimes the oddball small things do sell. Do you remember a couple of bolos ago where I sold a couple of things of paper? Well, apparently Papergoy has really taken off. Got airmail, and again, I use the, look how much nicer it is just like that over there. Jumps out at you versus the overall. Auction Professor did teach us this trick. Use the zoom in to sell it, and then show the overall item because obviously they want to see the overall item and condition and all that kind of thing on it. But I took a $20 offer on it just because of the graphics on it I'm expecting. So not bad at all, $20 on old writing paper. Next item we have up over here, and this is kind of a neat little thing. This is the kind of item that I think that a lot of people who watch the channel really get a kick out of because they would never think to list it. And why did somebody buy it kind of deal. Shower-made tub enclosure ad brochure from the 1950s.
Nice.
I mean, it literally is like a 4x6 at most, and it opens up. Why did I list it? I don't know, because I knew it would sell 5 years later. Yeah. So if you're into the long tail kind of thing, you can get things like this for free, essentially.
Yeah.
You're making a pile of paper, throw this on the pile. It's not like somebody's going to go, oh, that's got the shower-made brochure in it, or I'm going to have to double my price. Yeah. They don't care about it. Nobody cares about it, well, except Papergoy and the person that bought it.
And start saving your bath fitter brochures.
There you go. And now this is a really neat little item. Came in a lot of other things, and then when I read through it, I said, whoa, Read As You Ride, 1946 Baltimore Transit. Now what they did is when you took the transit, they would probably, I expect, have these little brochures, lack of a better way to put it, pamphlets sitting out the front when you walked on. You pick one up, you could read it while you're riding the train. It tells you things going on in town, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this person rode the bus or train a couple of times and saved them. Yeah. And this actually has Negro League listing the elite giants. And if you take a look over here, somewhere on here, I tell you it does. New York Black Yankees at Bugle Field, 2 p.m. Unfortunately, it went across 2 different pages over there. Baltimore Elite Giants versus the New York Black Yankees at Bugle Field. Probably one of a kind, honestly. In 1946, it's getting pretty late into the Negro Leagues as well. Right. But I took the time to read through it. What would possibly be the hook to sell it? I saw that, and I said, oh, my goodness gracious. And I took a $35 offer on it. Not bad for something or other, again, that was just kind of a throw-in on a deal. And you can find things like this out there. So do definitely go through them to see the neat thing.
Very cool.
And the next thing we have over here is shows that the long tail does work. It really does. The Lost World, wasn't that a movie, I believe? Yeah. Arthur Conan Doyle, Lost World, 1912, American First Edition. I took a $200 offer on it. Nice. It's been listed since 2011. Took 10 years to sell. Yeah. I probably paid $1 or $2 for it in a book lot back in 2011. I've got nothing into it. Yeah. I waited 10 years. I got $200 out of it. Nice. Literally, my cost during that time was the cost of storage. Can't argue with that, but that's what the long tail can do for you right there. You find a book like this. Obviously, when I bought it, I didn't know it was a first edition. Obviously, the seller didn't. Nobody was a first edition, but the price was right. I'd heard of A. Conan Doyle. His stuff does sell. Do you know what else A. Conan Doyle wrote?
Sherlock Holmes.
Nice. See? Absolutely right. And his stuff does sell. A. Conan Doyle stuff does sell. A way you can actually date some of his stuff is, I believe he became Sir A. Conan Doyle, and some of his stuff that was listed before, didn't have the Sir noted on it, is an earlier print kind of deal. So you do a little research on that. Don't take me at my word on that, but I do remember seeing something earlier in the day, and I could figure out it was an earlier print because it didn't say Sir Arthur Conan Doyle on it. So hopefully that helps you a little. Hopefully that explains to you buying big things in bulk and waiting, and really how the long tail ends up working out. And do hit the like button if you could. Do comment down below if you find any of these things, and we will see you next video.